Batas International Media. www.batasmedia.com. From the Philippines to the world, for the glory of God and service to mankind.
Bagong alyansang tagapagtaguyod ng adhikaing sambayanan.
Better Globe is all about putting the green back in our environment while helping lives get better.
I would like to also explain a little bit what Better Globe Group is doing. There are several companies. Some is in Norway, and some will be in Kenya, Uganda, in Tanzania, Sudan, and Ethiopia, which are the 5 countries in East Africa which we are going to work on in the years to come. We have huge goals, and we're going to break world records.
Na tutafanya kazi na wao tupande hiyo 5 billion trees and even more, because that is a way to improve even the weather condition.
Uplifting lives in the African continent through job generation, education, and overall countryside transformation. And all is because of one product, trees. Philippine personality and lifestyle philanthropist Mystica, with the blessing of Better Globe CEO Rino Solberg, has taken up the company's vision and cause and aptly named the movement Better Globe, Better Philippines. The Philippines figured itself in international news in what are known to be nature's worst disasters and humanity's greatest tragedies. The Ormoc flash flood of 1991, Ginsagon landslide of 2006, and Typhoon Ondoy flooding of 2009. All this had strong ecological roots. The Philippines not only needs to get itself out of the red and fight economic poverty, but into the green movement. The Better Globe, Better Philippines program is unique because it doesn't ask you to give away your money. It asks you to support, to plant trees and make a difference. By literally growing your money on trees, backed by both a solid financial model and solid forestry experts, you become a stakeholder, not just of the Philippines and Kenyan environment, but the many millions of lives that you can exponentially help in the next 15 years and beyond. But that is not all. Other specific beneficiaries for every 1,000 pesos goes to the Social Civic Anchor Club in the Philippines and even persons with disabilities. 2 countries, 1 goal. Reforestation for the most part has become an abstract motherhood and often unreal statement. This time the results can be quantifiable and the outcome can be planet-saving, life-changing, and so we start 1 country at a time for the next 15 years. It's going to be Kenya and the Philippines. It sounds ambitious, but as Better Globe's history dictates, it can be done. Better Globe, Better Philippines has 1 product, trees, and 1 goal, better lives. Be part now of the green revolution.
Okay, folks, we're back to the pilot episode of the Better Globe Power. And, Mr. Solberg, I had a lot of questions lately that why is it that, just like what you mentioned, the trees that's going to be generating some profits going to be planted in Kenya. Why is it Kenya? Well, in fact, we can actually plant all those trees here in the Philippines. So can you give us the specific answer so people will be able to clearly understand why is it in Kenya?
Because not like you said that you can plant all these trees in the Philippines, because you cannot plant these trees in the Philippines. These trees are specially mahogany that grows in semi-arid land on a high level, altitude about 1,000 meters above sea level. And you don't have that kind of altitude, and you don't have that kind of semi-arid land here.
Yeah, and you mentioned about mahoganies, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking about
unique mahogany. But the main thing is that, my goal is to plant 5 billion trees. And to plant 5 billion trees, we need 10 million hectares. And there's no way that I can get 10 million hectares in the Philippines.
All right, yes, okay. So it's really understood. Yeah, we cannot acquire 10 million hectares in the Philippines, particularly, with those tropical kinds of mahoganies. I'm sure that we don't have it. Okay, so that answers that question.
That's correct.
And of course, how are you related to Kenyan government, by the way? Why are they giving all this these lands?
Well, first and foremost, we are, like I said, eradicating poverty in Africa. And we are attacking the place where the really poor people live. And that is the semi-arid, the semi-desert land. There is nothing that grows there. They cannot even grow their own food there. Before we come, it is dry land. When we come in and start planting trees, it becomes green land. Because as you probably know, trees capture water, and then the whole ground will be different than it was before. So we can then work with the people around the plantation so they can sustain a living where they live. Instead of going to town to try to get something done there. They can stay there. We create communities. And that is the most important thing. We are, in fact, by planting trees, we take the man in the family, give him a salary to plant trees. When the woman is there in their little land piece where they have to plant their own things, we give her microfinance. That means money, so they can, and we teach them how to do things. We give them seedlings, we give them water, and then we teach them how to make their business growing. Then we have an organization which is called Child Africa. We build schools for these kids. So we work with a man, a woman, and the child in the family to build the communities. So they are sustainable there. And you see that particular tree which we are growing called mukau, which is a mahogany tree. That is the tree that we have developed more or less ourselves, because it was almost dying out in Kenya some years ago when our forestry director Jan van den Abele, who is a Belgian, he together with Carefree, which is the Kenya Forestry Research Institute, they worked together to try to graft that tree to make it live longer. It was difficult and costly. So we have been working for 3.5 years in a university in Belgium, in the forestry laboratory there, to clone that tree. And in fact now in July, this is where we are getting our first clone trees into Kenya. So now is a time that we can speed up. In a year or two, I can't tell you exactly when, but sometime ahead, a few years ahead, we will be able to plant more than 1 million trees a day, every day. So that means we are speeding up quite rapidly.
See, and that's also the reason why it's going to be a big campaign, because later on I'm going to, I am going to really implement that. It's like a commander, like I said a while ago. Yeah. I'm going to be in full, of course, because, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big responsibility to our environment. And of course, I'm sure that you have a big responsibility also to your organization. And through everybody's help, it could be a big, big help already for that organization, right? So they have to build that organization in order to have a sustainable income, and for that organization also to be able to help these people, because they're the ones who actually make them to have that kind of money.
That
right?
is correct, yes, absolutely. And the organizations that will be working with us, they will not be only sustainable, but they will be sustainable for life.
For life,
for
yes.
the lifetime of the organization. Let's make a simple estimation. For example, if they get 100,000 donation today from their members, given into the organization, first and foremost the organization get 10%, so that will make them some money right away. After 5 years they start getting more money.
10%
yes.
of whatever they have donated. That's
correct, and the 20th
yes.
year they get it 10 times the whole donation.
Right, right.
Now, let's say that 20 years from now, all the money is there in the organization. Let's say that $500 million they will spend doing good with whatever the humanitarian organization
yes.
or the environmental organization is going to do. Spend $500,000 doing that. Then they can put another $500,000 to trees again, so that will yield them even 10 times more. So it will double and multiply as they go. Right. Because obviously, when we have cut one tree, we will plant one tree again. Mm-hmm. So that means we can take in more.
Exactly.
So this one is a never-ending story. That is why we need 5 million hectares of land, because we are not going to stop. We are going to conquer the whole of Africa, desert area or semi-desert area, and make it into Greenland with really a place to live for people.
Yeah, that's true. And since we also know that there are some organizations already who have started having these tree campaigns, especially, as an example, is the 12 million tree campaign in Camarines Sur, as a matter of fact, and we're going to be talking to them tomorrow, okay?
That's right.
Because, of course, we have to know also, we have to find these organizations who's also going to be planting the trees that we're going to be donating, because we're going to make, we have to make sure that they're going to be planted in a way that they will really grow and they're going to be taken care of, okay? So that's not a problem. We have already sorted those out. And the most important thing is the campaign that we have to gather all these organizations to be able to participate in this project.
That is
okay?
right.
So is there anything else you can say about this campaign in the Philippines right now?
Well, I think that if I had a big organization in the Philippines and was heading a big organization, I would start talking to you.
Of course.
So find a way to get my organization into this system. Because, for example, let's say that, let me take CCW, which we know very well,
with attorney Jose Miguel Malvar.
Yes.
We were just talking to him about this Better Globe project we have last night.
Yes.
And he was really, really into it, though, because he's just planted, as a matter of fact, lately.
Yes.
He just planted 300,000 somewhere else in Laguna.
Yes.
So meaning, he's already started it.
Yes, and also, you see, if they have more than 1 million members, probably 1.5 million members,
Right.
if only 10% of them, 100,000 members donate, then that organization will have 1 billion pesos.
Exactly,
over
1 billion
20 years.
already.
And they can do a lot of good with
Yes.
that money.
Yes.
So that is a simple way to do it. So if I had heading a big organization, I would get in touch with you, sooner the better.
Exactly.
So be among these 12 elected
Yeah.
ones.
So it's either just going to be an organization of like religious organization or some other organization, because they got different humanitarians or business, business organizations or whatever. As long as they are willing to donate at least 100,000 trees. Okay,
That is correct.
definitely. And by the way, since I'm also an appointed CCW Better Globe Chairman, of course, Better Globe Task Force and Rescue Team, I'm also inviting everybody to participate in our CCW Better Globe team, because there's going to be a way also to protect, and of course, the environment, because we're going to be planting trees, and at the same time, to prevent crimes. Okay, because CCW's main goal is to promote peace and order, and of course, integrity.
How can I get in touch with you?
Oh yes, sure. You can get in touch with me through my cell phone number 0908-885-7288. Okay, you can get in touch with my Better Globe project coordinator or project director, none other than Miss Nina. Okay, once again 0908-885-7288, or they can go directly online of mysticacharityfoundation.org or betterglobeforestry.com.
Batas International Media, www.batasmedia.com. From the Philippines to the world, for the glory of God and service to mankind.
Bagong alyansang tagapagtaguyod ng adhikaing sambayanan.